Shubhadeepa, you are on mute.
Okay, am I audible, Puneet?
Yeah.
Good. So very good morning to everybody here. And let me ask you, how many of you are actually interested in this session? Just go to your chat box and type super excited, SE. Let me see, how many of you are super excited? Type in your chat box. SE. Okay, how many of you are just curious? Just type in JC, just curious. I'm here, just, I'm curious. I'm not that excited. So how many of you are just curious? JC? No one? Everybody is super excited? Awesome, awesome. Thank you. So guys, thank you Dipanjan first of all for that wonderful introduction of my profile. Thank you Punit for giving me this opportunity, and everybody I must thank you that it's a Sunday morning, guys. You could be doing so many other things and you chose to come to this session. So let me make it worthwhile. Okay, let's start. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, Puneet, I'm having some trouble sharing. Could you tell me? I'm not getting that option.
You are not getting the options of the screens?
Yeah, it's the moment I'm, opening the share tray, it's again closing down.
Okay, closing down. So actually when you open that, it should show either the desktop, share full desktop, or it should show share a screen. Is it showing two of those options, or is it just closing?
Okay, let me know if you can see it now.
So far, no, probably. Did it allow you to select the screen?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's coming up.
Okay, now you can see the screen, right?
It was coming up, but hasn't come up so far. No, try again, Shubhadeepa, please. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so you can actually see my Teams window.
So you have shared your whole system. So whichever screen you will be there, it will show that.
Okay.
Hi Puneet. Hi Shubhadeepa.
Hi.
Who's
Who is this?
Shubhadeep.
Okay, wonderful. Can you guys see my screen now?
No, you stopped it.
I again stopped it. Okay. I do apologize. Technical glitches. When you're working online, there are so many technical glitches.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can see now?
We can see your desktop. Now I believe what you
Yeah.
will show.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Awesome. All right. So being a tech writer, now I'm assuming that there are freshers in this call. There are people who are not freshers, already quite senior, somebody just starting. So this for freshers, yes, it's new. For people who are already in this industry, doesn't matter if you get reminded of some stuff again from someone. So let's see what technical writer means. So we have this two words, technical and writer. technical, which means that you are writing about some core technology, some subject. It can be IT industry, it can be software, hardware, it can be any industry, medical, other industry. So anything that you write about, that's your subject, that's your niche, that's your technology, right? So you need to be technical because you need to understand that particular topic, that particular industry first. And of course, the tools. Today, in today's world, we use technology to author, to create documentation. So we need to understand the tools that we use for writing. And of course, we are writers, which means we write clearly in a simple way, and we should have good command of the language. So typically we write in English, but yes, you can have some other language in which you write. So whichever language you choose to write or your employer chooses to write on, you must have command on that language. Okay. So before we go on to the skills that we need as a technical writer, let us understand the scope of a writer. What are the things you have to do in a regular job? Okay. So we have something called the DDLC, which is the document development life cycle. And we do the requirement analysis. I think my slides are going automatically, so I'm going to not show you the whole thing there. Here is the slide. Requirement analysis, what you must know. Gathering information, you need to ask the correct questions to people so that you have all the information before you start writing. Analyzing, once you have all the information in place, you need to process it, right? You need to understand, you need to talk to the people who have given you that information and make sure that you are all on the same page. And then you conceptualize, that is, you design your structure, how your document should look like, the flow, the organization of your content, and then actually comes writing. So you see, before you actually become a writer, you have to take on that hat of a researcher, of an interviewer, of an analyst, of a designer. So many roles you play as a writer. You're not just a writer. And then you have to review it. Self-review is a very important step, guys, because unless you review, you don't know what mistakes you have created. And we are all human beings, right? We are all prone to errors. We are all prone to mistakes, silly mistakes. Some of us do, most of us do, all of us do. So always do a self-review. So we also play the role of an editor. And then SME review, the subject matter expert review, who validates that what you have written technically, that is right. Okay, so you collaborate with your team of developers, your team of quality analysts, product managers. There are so many teams you collaborate with, okay, to make sure that your content is right. The same collaboration happens when you're actually gathering your information and requirement. So you need to be a good communicator, yeah? And then at the end, you publish. So see, just look at the roles, the kind of hats you have to wear. My God, you get on that stage and you have to wear so many hats. Researcher, interviewer, analyst, designer, writer, editor, collaborator, mediator. So whoever is thinking, I have good grammar skills and I can write so well in English, think twice. You have to do all these things. You have to improve your interpersonal skills. You have to be a good communicator, everything. Isn't it interesting, this profession? Okay. So what do we mean by requirement analysis? Understanding your industry and technology, understanding your market demand, understanding the subject. If you don't understand what you're writing about, you won't be able to write. And of course your audience, there are different audiences. For example, when we write about what the application is, say some small in layman's term, just we say your app, this application does this. You are writing for the business people, they may not be technical. When you're writing a deployment guide or an installation guide which tells you how to actually go and install that product on the machine, okay, then there must be some technical knowledge. So your audience differs. So you as a writer, when you're structuring your document, you need to understand your customer, who you are writing for. Yes. Next is conceptualization. Like we already talked about it before drafting, you need to plan. Don't go into writing just with the thought, okay, I know everything, I'll write it down. Let me go and start writing good sentences. Believe me, guys, it doesn't happen. Even with my experience, I cannot sit down and write one single sentence at one go. I have to plan first. So, always planning is very important. Plan it. Plan your purpose. What is the objective of that documentation? Is it installation guide you're making? Is it something for the end user? Is it just for business people? What type of content you want to put into it? There comes your analysis part. All the information that you have gathered, what part of that information you want to put in your guide, in your document. Of course, the publishing medium is very important. Is it a web help? Is it something you just deliver as a PDF? So why that is important? That determines the tool that you will be using for authoring. Of course, your format, design. There's a term called body shaming. We don't like anybody who's thin, who is fat, whatever. Okay, we don't want to shame them. But when it comes to documentation, it has to be absolutely beautiful. By beauty here, I mean it needs to be clear, it needs to be clean. There's not, there shouldn't be too many elements going on in the document. You have to understand that you need to keep your customer focused on your document. The clearer you are, the more focused is your customer, and you have to make it a little attractive, so that your customer wants to read it. We could just write in a notepad a simple word file and just give it to the customer. Do we do that? We don't. We have something, we have a cover page. Even in Word, we have a TOC, a table of contents, right? So those are the structure. That is the presentation we are talking about here. Okay, and of course, if you want to, it's not just writing. In today's world, we have to include videos, simulations, some diagrams. We have to give reference links. So a lot of things to make that journey complete for the customer. The customer should not come, or your audience or your reader should not come to the document and then wonder, okay, I know the writer has written this step, but what is next? Where do I find the additional information? See, you have to work from an audience's perspective. You have to make sure that whatever you're presenting, whatever you're writing is complete. Yes. And of course, consistency in language, in format, in tone, in style. What do I mean? Language, you understand. What I mean by format, say in one chapter, you have used a bullet point, which is like round bullets. And then in the next chapter, you use something, the tick mark. Don't do that, it breaks the consistency. It confuses the reader. Use one single style for each of your elements. That makes it clean. Okay. The tone, how you are writing. For example, some people write the user has to log in. Someone uses a direct approach. You have to log in. To log in, do this. Typically, we use a direct approach, but don't break it. If you are using the direct approach, do it across your document. All right. And style, of course. Whoever of you is in the industry, style is very important. We have rules. Style guide is our Bible. We have to adhere to those rules. Yes. So what is a style guide? It tells you exactly how to write, exactly how to present your data. Yes. Okay. And the last but not the least is the review part I was talking about. A very big important thing is testing it yourself. Do you, as a writer, understand the content? Here, there is a big challenge, We have this writer's block. We have a mindset. Just like our subject matter experts and technical people, we have a mindset. When we write, we think, I did my best. People should understand it. But you have to step down from the author's shoes, and you have to actually wear your customer's shoes, your reader's shoes, and then look at the document. Forget what you know about the subject. Read it step by step and see whether you can understand it. If you can't, there is something wrong. Yeah. So can you perform the actions without a glitch? Does it solve your purpose? Whatever steps you have given, whatever you have written, is it helping the reader? What do you feel? Most important, what do you feel? Do you feel it's written well? It's not written so well? All these things, as a writer, you need to analyze once your draft is ready, and then you send it to the subject matter expert. First, be satisfied yourself. That's very important. So this is the most important of it all. Think of yourself as the reader. A lot of us forget this. We are so stressed. We are so immersed in working, in writing. Okay. We forget this important thing. Think of yourself as the reader, the user. That's very important. The moment you switch on this hat, you will find a lot of flaws which you can correct before you publish that document. Yeah. Okay. Now we come to the essential skills. The skills, I think you've already got what the skills are. So just to give you a visual representation, communication, the most important thing, communication, your interpersonal skills, observation, you should have that eye for detail. If you don't have it, you will not catch errors. Okay, you have to be alert. You have to actively listen, not just to yourself, to the people you're communicating with, all the teams that you're working with. Okay, clarity in your thoughts, in your words, conciseness, be simple. Technical writing is about being simple. It is nothing creative. You don't have to use bombastic words, be a master of the English language, and put in a lot of vocabulary where reader has to go and search the dictionary. No, it's very simple. It's very direct. And consistency, which we have already talked about. And all through this process, when you are in this career, like any other professional career, you learn. You have to have that flexibility that I will learn no matter what. Because you know what? Companies differ, employers differ. The way you write differs company to company. Okay? The basic rules are the same, but your requirement changes. What people are expecting from you changes. So be adaptive, be flexible. So always learn. And the market, it is, it advances by leaps and bounds. You have to keep yourself updated, yeah? And all these things you're going on, all these hats you're wearing, time management, the biggest skill of all. You have to manage your time. So this has been quite a quick, capsulation of what you need to understand. And I think by now, whoever is wondering what I need to do in this industry, it's the right time to ask yourself, do you want to be in this industry? Do you want to put on all those hats, the researcher, the analyst, the interviewer? Do you have that capability? So when you ask that, some of you may not be so good in communication. Yeah. Some of us are introvert. Some of us are extrovert. It doesn't matter. Being introvert does not hold you back from being a technical writer. You don't have to talk like me, blabber on and talk like this, blah, 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 blah. You can be quite calm, you can be less energetic, but you should know how to extract that data that you need for writing your document. For that, you need that communication. You need to build a rapport with the people around you. Yes, because it can be challenging working with technical people. A lot of times they will not have time. They will not, they are not willing to sit with you, give you a demo, not do all that stuff. They will always keep writing as a less priority. That's the biggest challenge we face in many employments. But you have to keep your calm. You have to know exactly what you want, and you have to extract that from them. Yes. So be cool. And all the skills are necessary. Yes, technology can be learned. If you don't know it today, you can learn it hands on. It comes with your experience. All these skills will improve with your experience, but you have to be ready to adapt to all this. But most important, ask your heart. Do you want to be a writer? Do you want to be in this field? Ask your heart. There's nobody to blame. You know what you have to do. Ask your heart, do you want to be here? Don't come here as an accident, as a byproduct of I'm not getting another job, so let me try out technical writing. Yes, it's fine, but once you get into the field, ask yourself, do I want to be here? Because if your heart is not in this profession, guys, you're not going to survive. You will be an average writer. You will not be an excellent writer. And we all want to be important, right? In our lives, in our personal lives, in our professional lives. It's about it's about me. I want to be important. I want to be special. I want to be excellent at what I do. And all these skills, you can actually improve on it because now you know what are the areas you need improvement on. So having said all these things, it's not so complicated. These are basic things, okay? And you can do it. But like I said, your attitude matters. It's the attitude that counts. Everything you can learn on the job, even grammar. Even if you're bad at grammar, yes, that's the most fundamental thing that you should have as a writer. But if you're willing to do that, go back to your school grammar book, start understanding English as it is, start improving on your skills. There is nothing to stop you if you have the will to learn. So don't let anybody tell you, okay, your English is bad, you cannot be a writer. If you have the will to learn, you can be a good writer. All these areas, it's the attitude that matters. So be honest. Please, please, please be sincere. Whatever you do, there is no shortcut in this industry, not in any profession. I don't know about all professions, but as a writer, there is no shortcut because you're the bridge between the audience and your company. You're the bridge between the technical people and your reader. If what you present, if you don't wrap it up nicely and with all your heart, it will be out. The truth will be out. The customer will get irritated. The company will lose business. You have a lot of responsibility, my friend. You do. So be honest and be sincere. Be proactive, very much. Understand yourself. Like I said, your skills, your needs. You are important. First, understand your needs, where you want to improve, and your suitability to this profession. Learn. Learn from every opportunity you have and be super confident. If your heart is there and if you know that you can do it and you have the flexibility to learn, nobody can stop you. Be confident. Show your confidence. Be committed. Take on a project or when you're getting into something, be committed. Take the ownership. Be responsible. We all of us by nature, human beings, we kind of say, this is not working. He's not giving me time. She's not sitting with me. I didn't get a demo. No, it's your responsibility to get that demo. Work it around. See which people you can approach. See how you can work that around and actually do that. Take that on yourself. If nobody helping you, in Bengali we have a word, jodi keu dak shune tor na ashe একলা চলো রে. That means if you're calling somebody and nobody is helping you, stay on the road alone. Be self motivated. Yes. Okay, so be committed, be responsive, understand that people also have time constraints, respect people's time. Okay, people come from different backgrounds, different cultures. Understand that if they're behaving badly with you or they're not giving you that time that you need as a writer, be a problem solver, give solutions, be empathetic to that person, and be a giver. Don't be like, I will know everything. I will not share information. I'll keep everything. Oh my God, I know all these skills. Let me not share it with my team member. Then that person will get better appraisal. No, share it. The universe has abundance. It has enough. If you share, you'll get more. Be a giver and build a network. If you have wonderful opportunities like Tech Writers Tribe, build your network, build your rapport, see the world. Nobody is stopping you. And believe me, each of us, we are not perfect and we don't want to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect because if you reach perfection, you have nothing more to learn. So be confident. You will make mistakes. You will fall down. But if you pull yourself up, you will learn and you will grow in this industry. You will grow in life. And the most important for freshers, especially when you go out there for an interview, I have seen I have interviewed many people. I have seen they're really good writers, but when they present themselves in the interview, when they write their resume, we don't take care of a resume, but we just format it and send it. There can be spelling errors, there can be grammar errors, there can be formatting errors. As a writer, your resume is your first document that tells your interviewer whether you're a good writer or not. If you have missed out, if you have ignored the formatting and the conciseness and the clarity of a resume, there will be someone who will judge you on that. It's just not the resume. Whatever you write, make it a habit to fully review that. Okay? Whatever you're presenting. It's not just in your employment, even in your personal life, as a writer, as a communicator, when you're writing emails, whatever you're writing, always review it. Review works wonders in this industry. Always review. So if you think you need to enhance your unique selling point, because when you interview, you are a product. I'm a product when I go for an interview. I didn't need a job. I need to sell myself. I need to convince my recruiters that, guys, if you take me, if you hire me, the company is going to fly. I'll do the best. I'm the best in this industry. Always think I'm the best in this industry. Okay. So your USP, your unique selling point is your resume, how you communicate. People are not there. They will not understand whether you're a good writer unless you're working with them. Okay, so you need to sell that to them. You need to present yourself that way. Show your engagement. Participate in that interview. Ask about the company. Ask about things. Ask about the team. Yes, with a genuine interest in your heart. Always, like I said, be honest, sincere, and genuine. People will know if you're not genuine. Be genuine, guys. So that is it. That's what I had. Very short presentation. Okay. So I hope things are clear to you. I hope I did not blabber on for too long. I did not confuse you. So over to Deepanjan. If there are any questions, you're welcome to ask me anything.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
Yes, good morning to all of you. My name is Gunjan Sharma, and
Hi,
I have two.
Gunjan.
Hello, ma'am. I have two questions, ma'am. I'm also a technical writer, and I have a 1 year experience. So I just want to know that which style guide or which tool we should learn to enter into this field, like and at the start, like which style guide, either MSTP or Chicago style guide, which
Mhm.
style guide we should learn at first, and which tool we should know to actually enter or to come back into this field.
Okay, very valid question, Gunjan. Thank you. The basic standard is the MSTP, yes, the Chicago Manual of Style. But if you have seen it, it's huge. Yes. So
Yes, ma'am.
I would suggest that, yes, if you have time, go through those. Okay. Have a concept, but not every company follows the MSTP. What we do in different companies is that we extract the basic rules and then kind of customize it our way, which suits our business. Okay, so there, every team that you go to should have a style guide of its own. If they say, okay, guys, just go and go and follow the MSTP, it is completely fine. But mostly with teams, they have, if the team is in place, the process is in place, they will have a style guide of their own. And the most important, Gunjan, is to be clear. Like I said, be clear, be consistent. Okay. The style is the direct approach. All that today we have Google, we have TWT to guide you if you want to get into this platform, if you really want to have a certification. Again, certification is to enhance your knowledge, but it is what you do in this industry, what you do as a hands-on, that's what marks you as a good writer. A certificate does not give you the credibility as a good writer, but it will definitely enhance your knowledge. Okay, so you can go for the certification, you can also Google it. It's very simple. You can of course go through the MSTP to understand it. And regarding tools, Gunjan, I personally believe in learning it hands on. Again, you can Google, there are YouTube videos, a lot of tools have free trials, 30 period free trials. You can explore them, but I don't think tools can create a hindrance in your journey. You can always learn the tool that you're going to use if you have the will. There's no hard and fast thing like if you don't robo help you cannot start the journey, or if you don't know anything you cannot start the journey. The most basic tool is Microsoft Word. That's in everybody's machine and everybody's system nowadays. What nowadays? From day one, right? Learn to write. What I say is learn to write. If you can write, you can learn any tool, but learn to write. If you cannot write, no tool will help you author and create a good documentation. Did I answer your question?
Definitely, ma'am. Another question I have that like I want to come back into this field because I have a career gap. So the problem that I'm facing nowadays that is experience. Like
Mhm.
I'm getting rejections sometimes in first rounds and sometimes even in the last round because there are other candidates who is more experienced than me. And
Mhm.
obviously the interviewer or the recruiter obviously hires someone who's more experienced. So I
Mhm.
just want to know that how I can cope up with it.
So that is something, Gunjan, we don't have in control, as an
Yes,
individual,
ma'am.
because our culture, especially in India, we take this very seriously. There's a gap. But when if you have a gap, like you said, you have 1 year of experience. So when you're
Yes.
coming back, you can afford to say that I'm a fresher because you just had 1 year of experience. So when you start with a fresh mind. So companies who will recruit you, they can see that you have 1 year. So it's really up to the company. I find it very unethical if they're looking at someone with 5 years, 6 years experience and rejecting someone with 1 and 2 years. So my point is that you may feel that they're rejecting you as compared to the others, but no, they're not rejecting you because of experience of the years, but they're rejecting you because how you're presenting yourself. If you know the basic things, or you know by now, right, all the skills you need, and whatever you have learned in that 1 year, your hands-on experience, if you can talk about that, you can give them a hope to your recruiters. If you take me, I will learn, and I will learn fast, and I will show you what I am capable of doing. If you can give that message loud and clear, they will hire you. But having said that, yes, it's a sad world. Sometimes, job descriptions are not so clear in our industry. People will interview you and then they will hire someone with a more experience. But trust me, it's your presentation that matters. It's your skill, how you communicate, that matters, because the recruiters already know that you will not know certain things. I mean, it is unethical if you come as a 1 year old experienced person, and I as a recruiter will, if I ask you, do you know RoboHelp, do you know Matt Kefler, do you know this, do you know that, then I'm setting too much expectations from a fresher. That's my responsibility as a recruiter. You try your best, like I said, be super confident, and go to as many interviews possible. Don't fear about rejection. You will be rejected, accept it. But what is important is you go and sit for all the interviews. If you do that, you will understand what the market wants. Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
a very simple trick is, even if you don't know, rephrase it in a way, I'm familiar with the term. Once I get into it, I'll learn it, and I'm confident. I'm super confident. Always show your confidence. That what's get you in this industry.
Fine, fine, fine. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
All the best.
Shubhadeepa, we see Tanushri has raised the hand. Maybe she has a question. Tanushri, you have a question? Uh,
Mr. Panjan, thank you so much. Oh, Shubhadeepa, what a wonderful session. Like, really, it is like super motivating to hear you on a Sunday.
Thank you,
So,
Tanushree.
my question is I come with experience. Now, one of the biggest problems which rather, we technical writers have is we can get into the technical industry, writing industry pretty easily because it's a combination of so many things that you somehow fit into it. But then the real challenge is I mean, how to make you can very easily be a technical writer, but it's very, very difficult to become. a good technical writer because there's so many skills you got to master. So how do we deal with complacency? Because there is after a point, because you understand there's so much of skills you got to work on to, get into the top. Because I'm somebody who's very, very passionate about it. But when you see there's so many things you have to, work on to not
Oh,
just be an
let me stop
average
you. Let
technical.
me stop you. Let me
Sorry.
stop you here. Let me ask you a vital question. What is stopping you? You said you're passionate. You have your heart in this, right? You are an experienced writer. You already know the things I have told you today. Yes? So in what area is it stopping you? Where you are stuck?
I sometimes feel the time management and sometimes not able to really, I would say, pinpoint the problem areas. Because I remember in my previous organization, I started feeling so overwhelmed because I was working as as a sole technical writer that I started closing up. So I think these two were there. So how do you overcome these, like this imposter syndrome, and how do you break through that point where you feel you can't make it? So I think this, I'm sorry, I don't want to make.
Beautiful word, imposter syndrome. If you have that passion, you're not an imposter, Tanushree. You are not. Like I said, you cannot be perfect. Even after 20 years, and you cannot be perfect. There will be some areas you need to learn. So when you know the areas that you need to improve on, what you need to do is ask yourself, you know, everything is available. There are certificates, there is Google. It's not a complicated industry. Everything is available. You need to ask yourself where you think, this is not related to this subject, but there is a little voice that goes in our mind in everywhere when we try to do something. There is this resistance, that's very powerful. It says, don't do this, you won't be comfortable if you do this. Don't do this, you will fail. You want to wake up in the morning 6:30. How many of us do that? 5:30 a.m. the alarm clock rings, and then you snooze it for 10 more minutes and go to sleep. You wake up at the first alarm clock? No. If you do, you are great. But all human beings, natural, normal people, we don't. Okay? So that resistance is, come on, sleep a little bit more. So you like the way you're saying, self motivation is very important in this industry, Tanushree, because all it sounds very lucrative, it sounds very nice, but yes, I understand your question, I understand your concern. Your employers or your work culture or your employment environment will at every point, it will pull you down. It will not motivate you, and especially when you're an individual contributor. So it's more, we have to be self motivated. Motivation is not coming from outside. Yes, so first I would say, ask yourself where you're getting stuck and why. Every answer is within me, within myself. Ask it and then try finding that solution. I'll be happy to have a one-on-one with you. I think you're also in TWT, right? So please feel free to contact me anytime. Dipanjan, can you put my number on the chat box?
Sure, I'll do that.
Thank you very much for your answer, Shubhadeepa. Have a nice day.
You too.
Yeah,
Any more
Shubhad,
questions?
yeah, I think Lingaraj, you have some question. You have raised your hand. Lingaraj.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Uh, yeah, that was a good session. I was a fresher right now. From other domain, I was thinking to change to technical writer.
Mhm.
So currently, I was working in aero domain. This was so that was all related to technical. Here we say this is the technical authoring, not a
Mhm.
writer. So what I feel in the interview while I go for a software technical writing, how the recruiter will test my grammar skills. That I want to. Like as you told, you are a recruiter for the some you are taken interviews, so you might know this question answer.
Yeah, I do, but again, I can speak for myself. Not everybody will do it. Typically, they give you a sample to write about. Even as a tech writer, you may be asked to write a blog or article or about some topic, because when you write about a topic, people who are reading, they get to know whether you can frame your sentence clearly, whether your grammar is correct. So the most basic is they will give you some form of writing as a test. And if you're experienced and people having a technical interview verbally, then they will ask you about all this process, the development life cycle, what are the stages of technical, as a technical writer. Like I said, the first is the requirement analysis, the gathering information, instructor, all this. If you know these basic things, if you tell them that yes, I know that, then it is fine. So they will test your grammar. So that can be typically that's a written test they will have. That can be blogs, or that can be actually core technical writing. They will give you something and ask you to write step by step about it. Okay. Sam, could you just put off your video? Yeah, thank you. So next is they will ask you, what do you know about technical writing? So the concept and these stages, and that you actually work with these. When you work for a product company, you actually have to work with developers and testers and product managers. So that basic idea, if you don't even have the hands-on, like you're a fresher, you can say, like I said before to I think Gunjan, that you need to be familiar with the terms. Google it, Lingaraj, it's there everywhere. Okay, and I'm there.
And
Give me
there
a
was
call
a
anytime.
thank you. There was another question. Like in the job profile, they are mentioning all the softwares they are handling.
Yeah, they do that. They do that. What they
But
do,
I have inquired with my friend. They are using only Visio and MS Word. Why they are putting a MATLAB Flare or Snagit or RoboHelp everything in the job
I,
profile?
I'll tell you, most of the JDs are copy paste. They Google it. They don't. They themselves are not clear what they want. They Google it, especially for companies who don't have a team. They will just give everything in that JD. Don't get put off by that. You know what you know. If you don't know, if you're appearing and they're actually calling you for the interview, then they must have seen something in your profile. Present what you know. You don't have to, like Tanushree said, imposter syndrome. Don't try, be genuine. Don't try to give them, yes, I know RoboHelp. Yes, I be very honest. But at the same time, make sure that you don't be like, I don't know RoboHelp, so how can I do it? Don't give that attitude. You say, yes, I will learn it. All tools are all tools we can learn. I know how to write. And I said MS Word, you can always explore it and practice it on your system before you go for a technical interview. Yeah,
Yes, yes, thank you.
welcome. Okay, I think we have time for only one more question. So, Dipanjan, we
Yeah,
have an.
Anu has raised her hand. Anu, your question, please.
Thank you for the session. I could join very late. I'm audible to you.
Hi, Anu.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, yes. Tell me.
Yeah. Actually, I joined the session little late because of some technical glitch at my place. Actually, Subhadeep, I am going to be this tech writing. Before I have written some blogs that in the technical line. I am from actually technical background. I am a .NET developer. I was working as a .NET developer. And as a tester also I was working. So I want to explore this world because I'm looking more for work from home options, and technology is the one field where I can see options I can work from home. So I want to know what is my scope in this field, and what is the growth and all that over here for me, because I'm going to shift from field one now, technical writing. So how good it is going to be me, and how beneficial, and how what I do. I'll be landing up as a fresher, or I'll be taken as experienced. I don't know. So this is my question. I have four questions mixed up actually.
Yeah. Okay. So I cannot really explain it because of time shortage, but I'll do the best I can. So first of all, you're from a technical background. Let me tell you, most of the software industries, they prefer technical backgrounds. Okay, because they has they have this mindset that yes, if you're from a technical background, you will understand the technology better. So that's not a hurdle at all in your case. Second is, like I said, please ask yourself the question, do you want to be a writer? Do you like writing? It doesn't matter how many technologies you know. It doesn't matter how many tools you know. Do you like writing? Because if you like it and if you want to be here, trust me, you will grow. Now, growth can be two ways. One is your designation growth, like you can start like an individual contributor if you perform really well, and if the company has that opportunity, and if you're shifting jobs, you can look for a higher rank, a higher designation, okay? And then you go on, you can become a lead, then you can become a manager, whatever the designation is in this industry, which again differs from company to company. You can go on. Now, typically from a technical writer, you can, whatever designation it is, in essence you remain a technical writer. You don't, you don't change fields. Nobody will tell you that, okay, now you're a technical writer, why don't you come and test our product, or why don't you develop? Technical writing, whatever designation, irrespective of the designation, you have to be a writer. What you can do is, once you have all the hands on, when we are in one niche, okay, we get that technology, we understand that concept so much, we see it from a business point of view. So you can be a very good product manager, you can be a business analyst in some time of your career. Google it, business analyst. That's a lucrative title. If you don't want to just do writing and you want to really rise up on the ladder and you want to go for, management as business and really going inside what the customer needs and how you structure your product, okay? You can be a product manager from technical writer. You can be a business analyst from being a technical writer. Nobody will stop you there. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Subhadeep.
Thank you. Okay.
Shubhadeepa, we have another person who has raised hands. It's
Okay, this is the
Shammo.
last question. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I
guys.
think we don't
Yeah.
have much time, so this will be the last question. Shammuk, could you please fire your question?
Yeah, thanks. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, Amo. Welcome.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. So currently I'm working in Hyderabad. So I can see this meeting is hosted by the Kolkata team, and my question is like very common or like I just want to know what is the scope of technical writer in Kolkata?
Wow. Let rephrase that. Ask me, what is the scope of IT industry in Kolkata?
Yes,
So that's
you
directly
can.
proportional, right?
Yes, correct.
I'm not
Because
going to answer that. Yeah.
many of us who is actually belong from West Bengal
Want to
wanted
return
to
home.
maybe,
For
but
you'll get this answer in the next session. All of you, stay
okay,
tuned. You'll get these answers. You'll get this opportunity to ask about the opportunities, about how you can come back home, what you can do staying in Hyderabad. All this you can ask in the next question, next session. Okay, please stay tuned in. Okay, we have our next session in a few minutes.
okay, sure,
Have some water, go and take your break, come back, and let's go for the next session.
sure.
Yes. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dipanjan.